Hey everybody, it's your boy Jamal on a Tuesday. As you can see, 1776 all the way down that beautiful 1776 by, of course, the Hodge twins. Everybody's talking about the video of the CNN reporter, Miss Hunt, who has her shaking Joe Biden's hand in her profile pic. Her cover, cutting off the Trump spokesman.
My colleagues, Jake Tapper and Dana Bash, have acquitted themselves as professionals as they have covered campaigns and interviewed candidates from all sides of the aisle. I'll also say that if you talk to analysts of debates previous, that if you're attacking the moderators, you're usually losing. What do you expect from Joe Biden?
Well, first of all, it takes someone 5 minutes to Google Jake Tapper, Donald Trump, to see that Jake Tapper has consistently, frequently likened President Trump to Adolf Hitler.
Ma'am, I'm going to stop this interview if you continue to attack my colleagues. I would like to talk about Joe Biden and Donald Trump, who you work for.
I am stating facts that your colleagues have stated in the past.
Okay,
now,
I'm sorry, guys. We're going to come back out to the panel. Caroline, thank you very much for your time.
It's not a surprise. What do we expect? You do understand, if you are Trump supporting, you're watching this. They are doing everything they can to stop Donald Trump. Even some on Fox News are trying to stop Donald Trump. Why didn't Bret Baier talk about this? Here's my thing. Okay, I know how we feel about CNN, okay? I know about CNN, but let's get to the elephant in the room. Why doesn't this get the 6 p.m. coverage with Bret Baier, who is supposed to be the Fox News journalist? Why didn't Bret Baier cover this and have the Trump person on the show to talk about it? Because what you have to understand, Paul Ryan is behind Bret Baier style coverage. He attacks President Trump. He attacks conservatives who agree with President Trump, Bret Baier. So the quote unquote 6 p.m. hour of Fox, they allow the unfairness toward President Trump. You know, people play The View. I mean, at this point, if you are a Republican and you allow Anna Navarre or the other girl on From The View, if you are a Republican and you are associated with them and you have them working with your campaign, every conservative and every Republican need to no, we're not going to vote for you. You're not going to get our vote. It's to the point now, Republicans and conservatives, we have to ask ourselves, what do we want? What do we want our party to be? Do we have room for RINOs? Yes. Do we want RINOs in power? No. But if you're going to be a Republican in name only, and the base wants something, go along with the base. If you're going to be a Mitt Romney, don't turn your back on the base. That's all people ask. You don't like Donald Trump? Fine. But don't sit here and act like Donald Trump is the worst thing on God's green earth. Don't be in our face doing something. And then if Democrats are constantly playing you as the great Republican and a good Republican, then you need to reassess yourself about what you're doing. But to get back to The View, what I was saying about The View, Sonny Hostin is basically calling for unfairness in the press.
Journalists in the days of, like, let's say, Walter Cronkite and
people wouldn't have done that to Walter.
People wouldn't have done that, but or Peter Jennings. You know, you always saw and gave opportunity for both sides. It was what journalism was. I think Lester Holt said it best. Our world is different now. Mm-hmm. We are in the world of alternative facts, as created by our favorite person, Kellyanne Conway. And when he was receiving the Edward R. Murrow Award for Lifetime Achievement in 2021. He said this. He said, I think it's become clear that fairness is overrated. The idea that we should always give two sides equal weight and merit does not reflect the world we find ourselves in. Decisions to not give unsupported arguments equal time are not a dereliction of journalistic responsibility or some kind of agenda. In fact, it's just the opposite. Our duty is to be fair to the truth. And that's what she was doing. She was being fair to the truth. She was trying to get to the facts. She refused to get to the facts. She instead wanted to it was ad hominem attacks. And when that happened, you cut the mic. You cut the mic, and that's what she did. But he said, enough with both sides-ism. When one side lies intentionally and repeatedly, they are no longer entitled to the benefit of the doubt.
And we should keep in mind, too, that the people that need to hear this are the people who are running the networks that are okaying this. Because this idea, it's like they say to you now, you can only work within this perimeter. But if the facts are not clear to people, that was what a journalist was there to do, to say, in fact, this is what went on and this is how we checked. Now, we've been given doubts that people don't know how to do this. The media has pretty much always been fair to each side. And now when we've gone to this place where you only hear this, see, we have to tell you both sides. That's why Alyssa's here, that's why Anna's here, because we don't all think the same way. And it's like you all don't think the same way, so you want to hear what other people say. But when they're lying, we can't have it. No. We can't allow on this show to have things said that we know for a fact are not true. That's what it used to be. That's what it needs to go back to be, and that's where...
They liked it. Of course, we know the view. They're a bunch of Democrat lying heifers. But when violence spark off, and quote unquote, if a civil war was to actually happen, I don't want to see no Republican whom we trust, a Ted Cruz or a Marco Rubio, and some people trust him. Republicans on that show talking about, so we need to have peace. I'm up here and we totally disagree, but I'm here to show you we can be fellow Americans. It's to a point now we cannot say anymore Democrats are our fellow Americans. They want to cheat us. They want to swindle. And I'm so glad on my poll we took the night before last, too big to rig is not real. I'm sorry. Too big to rig is not real. Too big to rig is not real. It's not. Because the Democrats will find a way to rig the election. That's why we have to vote. That's why we have to get out off our butts and vote. If you have early voting in your state, early vote. You have, you say, well, Jamal, I may be tired, go get a mail-in ballot. Regardless of what you do, you get your butts out and vote. And if you got a so-called conservative friend or Republican friend who like, I just can't vote for Trump. I just can't vote for Trump. I'm not voting for Joe Biden, but I just can't vote for Trump. I'm sorry, I can't listen to you no more. I cannot listen to you. I cannot listen to you complain if you're saying the only operative who can do something to stop it, you can't vote for him. I can't listen to you complain. If you're a show, because his irrationality of President Trump, I can't hear you complain and then say, I can't vote for this person. It comes a time, Republicans, we have to ask people, what are you doing if you hate Joe Biden so much? What are you doing if you don't like Joe Biden? What are you doing? What are you doing if you don't like Joe Biden? Don't just complain. Are you voting for him? Or are you making sure you're getting ads out to slam Joe Biden? Are you doing that? Because if you're not, you're just talking. It's a couple more. Jamal, I'm gonna tell y'all, Joe Biden is this, Joe Biden with that, but I just can't stand with Trump. Trump and bump stocks. Okay, Trump with bump stocks. The judges whom he put in said, no, that's not right. I want y'all to listen to this. The judges Donald Trump chose and put in overthrew him. So you ever thought that just maybe Donald Trump knew these judges would throw it out, so he just did something to appease people. But nobody wants felons to get their Second Amendment rights back. To me, until you support felons getting the Second Amendment right back, shut up about you pro-Second Amendment. Shut up complaining about Donald Trump and bump stocks. If you are against a felon serving his time, after he served his time on his sentence, not getting his Second Amendment rights back, but he can vote, he can go protest, he can go be a member of the press, but all he can't do is just get his Second Amendment back. If you are so pro-Second Amendment where you don't believe a felon should get Second Amendment right, then you're not pro-Second Amendment. You're no different than the Democrats. But you just shine yours up a little better and hide yours behind the American flag and Constitution of freedom, while the Democrats are open with their hatred for the Second Amendment that people get. You're no different. I guess Lebanon believed, because they got more of a sophisticated army, more equipment, they want that smoke with Israel. If Israel do not start using their heavy stuff, because Israel is holding back. Israel, if you haven't figured it out, it's written in the Torah and it's written in the Bible. God said, I separated you as a people to myself. If you believe the Torah and you believe what we call the Old Testament in the Bible, why are you worried about what man on earth thinks about how you defend yourself against Ishmael's children? Why are you concerning yourself with the opinions of others? You can't. The citizens of Israel responsibility is Benjamin Netanyahu and your Knesset, all those people. You cannot be concerned with the opinions of others, Israel. You cannot be.